We're going to be joined now by Larry Klayman, founder of Freedom Watch, former federal prosecutor. Welcome, Larry. Welcome to the middle of the week. Good to see you.
Good afternoon.
It has been all kinds of craziness this week and down in Washington, D.C., and more trouble for the Trump administration. Donald Trump taking what some might consider to be an ill-advised meeting with a woman claiming or represented to be a Russian lawyer with dirt on Clinton. And some say it was treasonous. Some say it was a smoking gun toward collusion. And then some just say it was a dumb, bad idea. Larry, let's get you in on this. What do you think happened down when Donald Trump took his meeting with the Russian lawyer?
Well, I've been listening to the commentary today, and it's all over the place, but he didn't commit any crimes, number one. Number two, it's a sad commentary in our legal system because we at Freedom Watch and my former group, Judicial Watch, and others were seeking information about Hillary Clinton legitimately in FOIA lawsuits. That's the Freedom of Information Act. And these cases were slow-rolled by leftist judges appointed by Bill Clinton and Obama, and little to nothing ever came out. And it's pathetic that a so-called Russian connection has to yield information about Hillary Clinton. But that's number one. Number two, unless Donald Trump Jr. Solicited stolen information and knew about it, there's nothing illegal about it. If someone wants to give you information that wasn't illegally obtained or wasn't stolen, there's nothing illegal. And that's basically, I think, the crux. Of course, you know, certain media outlets like CNN and others have said, oh, campaign finance violations and everything. That's nonsense.
It's really fascinating because, Larry, as you know, the word today is that the White House is paralyzed, according to GOP sources. I don't even know why they would be paralyzed, number one. And my bigger question is, why are GOP sources leaking that information out to mainstream media?
Well, this has been the case all along. You know, President Trump's not just facing the Democrats and his other opposition, the left-wing media. He's fighting the establishment Republicans that would like to destroy him. And there was a comment by Senator John McCain yesterday, one of his many nasty comments. Well, I predicted another shoe would drop. I mean, he literally hates the president and his family. And the establishment Republicans would like to see Trump gone. That's been the case from day one. They want to run their own establishment candidate in 2020. And don't be surprised if they join in with Democrats with regard to articles of impeachment. There may be some that may do that. This is the situation we live in. And President Trump is out there by himself. He campaigned as anti-establishment. He's breaking up the swamp, so to speak. And, you know, I'm from Florida, so I know what a swamp is all about. And you got to expect this kind of thing. And he just has to hang tough. They got to be smarter. I mean, obviously, it wasn't a smart move. And Donald Trump Jr. agreed with that to meet under that way with these exchange of emails. I mean, if you don't mean what you say in an email, don't write an email. But he didn't do anything that was illegal. It was, you know, ill thought out, and that's about it.
Well, you know, it's interesting to me. Back in January, there was a rather long, lengthy piece published on Politico. And I do read Politico on a regular daily basis. I check in with them. This article, however, was, unlike a lot of their pieces, this piece was sharply critical of the Clinton campaign. And it was a good piece talking about how they had been in collusion with Ukrainian officials, getting dirt on Donald Trump, using it against Donald Trump during the campaign. And the piece focused on the fact that now Ukraine was in a difficult position of having to scramble because she didn't win. They provided a bunch of dirt. And nobody, that's just a conveniently overlooked piece. And for the life of me, Larry, I don't understand what the difference is between that and the conversations.
No, there isn't. And, you know, there's some humor in this in a really sad way. I was listening to the radio coming in from the airport this morning, and apparently Jay Sekulow was interviewed by Chris Cuomo, the son of Mario Cuomo and Andrew Cuomo, the governor of New York. And he asked somebody, well, what was the distinction? Someone said to him, and Chris Cuomo comes back and says, well, the Ukraine isn't Russia. And I remember one time walking into Fox News when Roger Ailes was chairman, and there was Chris Cuomo on the TV, and he was doing commentary for Fox. And I said, why is Chris Cuomo doing commentary for Fox? You know, he's a leftist. And Roger Ailes said, well, if I'm going to have some expletive deleted liberal on my network, I'm going to have the dumbest expletive deleted I can find. And that's what you find out with some of these things, is these people, they don't have a clue. Now, Chris Cuomo's probably a very nice guy, but he's not exactly a rocket scientist. And they're going to spin anything that they hope to spin to harm the president on CNN.
It's just look, if it's bad for one, it's bad for the other. Personally, for me, it's politics as usual. I don't like politics, so I don't care. But it's like they're the same to me. And meanwhile, we're reminded lately of the fact that Bill Clinton had a $500,000 speech, and he was paid $500,000 to speak in Russia. At the same time he was getting paid that $500,000, Secretary of State Hillary Clinton mysteriously came out in opposition to the Magnitsky Rule, which was also opposed by Vladimir Putin, and nobody wants to make that connection. It seems to me, Larry, that there are a lot more examples of collusion by the Clintons than there are by anybody on the Trump campaign, and nobody, in fact, all the Democrats are doing, I would suggest to you, is working their best to throw the United States into a condition of chaos.
Well, that's right. And we have a potentially new FBI director that was being subject to confirmation hearings today, and I wasn't terribly impressed. He looks like he's probably another yes man. They asked him, are you going to cooperate with Mueller? I mean, are you going to try to obstruct his investigation? And he responds, well, Mueller's a man of great integrity. Well, we've gone over that in your show, and thank God for Newsmax, Bill, and you, and others that let us get this information out, because Mueller is not a man of integrity. I've had experience with my clients with him suppressing information about Saudi money laundering and everything else. And this is the world that we live in right now, and it's just a surreal world. And my advice to the president is stay strong, don't let anything divert you, and just be smarter in the way people communicate, because frankly, it could have been done a whole lot better.
Yeah, no, it is interesting, and we've run out of time, but I'll throw this little piece of perspective in for our audience. I know you know this. Bill Clinton's first year in office was a disaster by all accounts. And in fact, his approval rating was running slightly less than the approval rating of President Trump. So maybe maybe President Trump can seek some inspiration and solace in some strange places. Larry, thanks so much for being a guest.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Bill.
it.
God bless.
God bless. Up next, we're going to get into the border wall, the budget, and all matters of immigration with former INS Special Agent Mike Cutler.